Oh God, I touched the lens. Big fingerprint. Let's fix this. Hey y'all. Today I want to talk about Sketch versus Figma, and specifically why going back to Sketch after using Figma is such a difficult thing to do. Okay, so Sketch and Figma have a lot of similar features. Sketch has been around longer than Figma. Figma's web-based. Sketch is app-based, even though there is an app for Figma. It's just a web view in an app. And the differences between the apps are not initially that noticeable. The interfaces are a little bit different, but Sketch uses Apple's kind of default interface. So like here, let me like switch this over and show you. Oh my God, this is taking way longer than it should. Here, I'll just share the screen. So, as you can see here, I have Sketch open, and you have the main shapes, you have text, you have frames, you have the pin tool, the line tool, different grouping options. Honestly, I don't even know because I don't ever use them. You have the symbol tool, the zoom in and out, which is pretty much useless because you have key commands, which are the same key commands from Photoshop. You have other tools and things like that, the join states or types, layer up, layer down, which there's key commands for those, connect to devices using Sketch, share it with a colleague, and the grid options, so like this kind of thing. My main issue with Sketch is that it looks like Keynote, and all of these apps that use Apple's default interface feel very much so like, here, let me give you a better angle on the audio for me. Oh, that was loud. Anyway, all these apps that use Sketch's or Apple's default interface look kind of childish to me, and I don't really like it. Let me open up Figma real quick and show you what that looks like. Okay, so with Figma, there's actually a little bit above here. There's like tabs up here, but I'm not going to show them because I have other projects open that I can't talk about. But first of all, you notice my layers on the left are complete crap. They're totally not organized. But that's not the issue. The thing with Figma is that it just works better, in my opinion. So let's say I've got this interface thing going right here. I can set up constraints, and you can do this in Sketch too, but it's just easier in Figma because I've been working in Figma for the last week or so. So here you can see the grid stuff on here. The main issue I have with Sketch is that, oh, where'd it go? Yeah, the main issue I have with Sketch is that when you zoom in too far, there's two things. When you zoom in too far, the shadows disappear, which is what's the point of that? And then if you go to, okay, you'll notice the hand shows up when I hit spacebar. All right, if I go to move the canvas really quickly, after zooming in, oh, it doesn't do it anymore. It used to grab, oh, I don't remember why it doesn't do this. Well, it doesn't do it anymore. All right. All right, well. That failed miserably. Crap. So my main issue with Sketch and Figma, hold on. My main issue with Sketch is that it's just buggier than Figma is, which may seem interesting considering that Figma's web-based and Sketch is an app and you have a lot more control over what's going on in an app than you do on the internet. Technically, you can do more stuff in an app than you can on the internet. But that difference is so small, and for some reason in Sketch, you have weird things like the shadow disappearing like I showed earlier. And it makes you lose confidence in actually using the product. I've designed plenty of things in Sketch. I designed the WAG app prototype in Sketch. I designed the hum prototype in Sketch and put those in Principle and prototyped them and made them work just great. But for some reason, I still want to use Figma just because I'm more comfortable with it. I've been using it for the last week and I'm just like in Figma mode. And it's like the differences in these two apps are so small to an outside observer, but like to somebody using them directly, they're like a really big deal. Here, you know what? I have a weird feeling my lighting could be better. Are we better? Are we evenly lit? Are we like a thing? All right, so, the differences are just so small that I just can't, I don't know, it's difficult to go back and forth between them unless I've been using them a lot, but like Sketch, there's like specific ways the layer palette in Sketch works, where like masks are really weird. It's like, it's difficult for me to say with exactitude what is crappy about Sketch compared to Figma, but I don't know. I just have Figma in my mind, and so I think I'm going to redesign this in Figma. So that's a thing to do. Other than that, today I was like really tired. I got some work done, but otherwise, well, actually not got some work done, but finished up a project, hopefully. I'm still waiting on feedback. But I think I want to get back into Figma and redesign the website. So like doing apps in Sketch makes sense, which is strange because I started doing the app in Figma, but you can set up, I want to say easier to deal with constraints in Figma than you can in Sketch. You can still set up constraints in Sketch, but like those constraints I don't think translate over to Principle, which is like, what's the point? Because Principle translates directly from Sketch, but if you don't have the ability to use the constraints from Figma in Principle, or the constraints from Sketch in Principle, then like what's the point of setting up the constraints? I mean, you can have a dev get in there, open the Sketch file separately without you being able to see it. It's just Figma's better. Figma's actually better, and it's easier to tell that Figma's better. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to redesign the existing site, which I don't know, here. Let me do a screencast of the site, and you'll see here. Here's a dumb thing. You can't screen record, I don't think, a full screen page. Let's see. Yeah, so check this out. It just recorded the entire other screen. It did not get anything I did over here. So you can see it. Technology is crappy right now. Just hitting it right here. Like, technology is really not my friend right now. That's it. That's it. It's plain and simple. So I guess, let me get the camera off the mount and I'll show you what's going on. So here we've got my personal site. Let me go back home real quick, if it wants to like load and cooperate. Okay, so we've got the personal site here, and yeah, because I have these open side by side, like that's totally fine. You can scroll up and down through it. There's like good video stuff going on in the background, all kinds of stuff, right? Like it seems it's good. I've been told it's visually intense, but I don't really care. And then come over to kind of the new thing. Oh my god, it's so much brighter. And then come over to the new thing, which is like much more light and just like pastel-y, and I don't know, it seems like a candy shop to me. Like I really like it. But this is all in Sketch, and I kind of want to redo it in Figma because I just don't like the way Sketch is acting right now. And so yeah, that's kind of like the whole thing. Oh my god. I will find out auto exposure soon. and get that working. Oh, you can't do it while it's like, while it's filming. I think you can only do it in photo mode. Anyway, so like this is what I'm dealing with right now. This is what I'm dealing with today. These are like the esoteric design things that designers deal with, where it's like you have two apps that are basically the same, except one just happens to work better than the other, but that one that works better, for instance, like Figma won't output to Principle, but you can prototype in Figma, which I haven't tried before, admittedly. I should probably try that. See, that's a reason I should try and build my site in Figma so I can learn the prototyping. Because I've been working in Figma all week anyway. Why not just learn the prototyping while you're in there? So yeah, that's it for now. Just dealing with this conflicting software crap. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this kind of like look into just the things that I'm dealing with regards to these apps. For what it's worth, whenever I'm doing work, I don't usually have a lot of these issues. It's just that I have this file in Sketch that I wanted to go mess with, and Sketch is being stupid. I have a bunch of like Figma in my head right now, and so I want to work in Figma. It'll definitely render things better than Sketch will. And so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.